Hello everyone, Sheik here with another Transformers review, and today I will be reviewing the Transformers, third-party Warbotron Vortex, who forms one of the arms of Warbotron, or Bruticus, and he is the helicopter, as you can see, as it is clearly obvious. Decided I'd go ahead and do him first, since he had the most things I had to do to him out of the box, and as you can see, there he is in his robot mode. In these reviews, since they were already in their combined form, I'm just not going to bother showing you guys how to get them into the combined form, mainly just due to time constraints right now, but if I do in the future, I'll do a video of getting them all ready to combine, but as it stands, I'm just going to do them individually as if they were non-combining robots. And enough of that, let's go ahead and take a look at him. As you can see, he does have some nice yellow light piping on for his visor, yellow plastic pretty much for his head, well, for the light parts anyway, and then a blue plastic for his majority of his head with a little bit of silver on his crest of his head, and then of course he has a yellow cockpit which actually does open, surprisingly, and then yellow missiles on the wings, and of course blue rotors which could possibly double as swords, and then pretty much just other helicopter stuff. There's the tail rotor. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as detail. He feels kind of like a little bit better than, say, a standard Voyager class figure. Definitely good articulation. He does have the hands. So anyway, let's just go ahead and get down to articulation. The head is on a ball joint. Does have up and down, side to side. Just a little, almost no wiggly waggly. Full 360. Arms can go out that far. They can go a full 360 as long as the rotor is out of the way. Yeah, out that far. They can go up just about 90 degrees at the elbow. There is a biceps swivel. There is a wrist swivel and hand articulation, although it's just one hinge for his hands. Thumb doesn't move. And then he does have hip rotation. Let's see. He can do the full splits, and he does them a little bit more gracefully than Bruticus does. He actually looks kind of, dare I say, adorable, if that even makes any sense, for a flying Decepticon. Anyway, back to articulation. He can kick forward about that far. Let's see if these rotate. Yes, these rotate. If you rotate those up, you can go about that far forward, this far back. And he does have thigh rotation, knees bend about 90 degrees, and he does have foot rotation, not exactly ankle tiltage, but there is a ball joint up here, and then a mushroom peg right here that allows the heel to rotate, so I guess you can get a little bit of ankle tiltage, and that's pretty much it for articulation. Now, let's get on to wait, one more thing that I almost always seem to forget. Showing off his accessories. And as we saw earlier, this is the front of the helicopter. You can flip this out for a handle, although I don't know why it's not flipping out. Anyway, yeah, that's supposed to flip out, can flip out, but there's still a handle there. So let's just have him hold it by this handle and hope that that works. Yes, that works. There you go. He can hold the front of his vehicle mode. And he doesn't necessarily want to stand the best because the heels, they have a tendency to want to flip up, so that can send him off balance. But yeah, other than that, for the most part, he stands pretty well. And then he does come with these two other guns that are orange, blue, and silver. And there goes one of them. And, of course, he can hold them with these pegs right here. And they can probably also peg onto his wings for his vehicle mode, just like that. So let's go ahead and take that off. And, of course, he does have a giant combiner hand. Hello, hi. Oh, there it goes. And then that's about it for what he comes with. Of course, since he comes in a set, you can combine him with pretty much, or swap out weapons with pretty much anyone, so it doesn't really matter which weapons he really uses, all up to preference, except for maybe the front. The helicopter one makes sense for, say, Brawl to use it. But anyway, you could do that if you wanted to. So let's get on to transformation. So first thing to do is you just want to flip his hands, put them away. You can leave that open. You don't have to close it back up, but because that is part of his wings. And okay, make sure that his hand is closed first. Get it all the way in. And then, you can flip all this up, flip that up as well, and they clip into place like that. In his head, I guess you can kind of sort of see it, but for the most part, it is completely obscured. And then you can rotate this back like that, clicks into place, not clucks, it's not chicken. Then you just close up his feet like so, and then you can clip his legs together, move these out of the way, rotate these up here like so, and then these two holes go into those two pegs go into those two holes like so, just getting that nice and flush. And then these rotate up, although it might split the legs up a little bit, doesn't matter too much. Do that the same on this side. That'll probably also rotate his feet around, but just get everything lined up. Line back up, and then you clip or tab these together, although you might have to use something like a pocket knife or a blade, something to separate them, because it does peg into place pretty well. And of course, there's another option that you could do if you don't want to bother with this. Just leave it for helicopter rotor configuration like all the time. There are two pegs that go into those holes, and you can just pop them off and just pop them back on when you're ready to have him in helicopter mode. And that came undone right back there, but pop it back into place. And then the arms, you just want to rotate right here, pivot at this joint, which is a stiff ratchet, but once you get into place, then you can kind of tab his wings in like so, so it's filled in and doesn't look so goofy, because that's a problem that some helicopter transformers have, is hiding the arms effectively. This definitely does it better than the Titan's Returns Vortex. And also, well, most of them had a hard time hiding, at least the flying ones anyway. But yeah, get those wings tabbed into place. And also, he is a war helicopter, unlike Vortex for Titan's Returns, who's just like a standard helicopter, because I do believe he is like just blades repainted from Defensor. And then to get this nice and in there, you might want to just open up the cockpit and just push up to just get it really in there, because it does like to come loose and fall off, so that is a little annoying. But other than that, it is a nice little attack helicopter. Well, I say little, but he's actually about the size of a Voyager class transformer, so he is pretty decently sized, maybe about the size of Skyhammer. Although it is getting the way of that rotor, but I guess it does help spin them both around, but they don't both spin really fast. Like, it's stiff, but I guess it's better than them spinning around wildly when you're trying to transform them or have them in robot mode or whatever mode you're wanting to display them in. It looks like you can also peg them in right here, but then they also more likely get hit by the rotor. So I'm not exactly sure where the best place to store them is, but hey, you can store them somewhere. Or you don't have to. It doesn't matter. Because, I mean, Masterpiece and G1, I know these aren't Masterpiece, but they tend to be the ones that are like, okay, here's a bunch of extra stuff. There's not storage for it, but it's extra stuff for you to have if you want it. Stuff like that. Anyway, this has been another Sheik's Transformers review of Warbotron Vortex. And if you like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. And until next time, have a good one, everyone.